Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
And my name is Evan, and I am a dumb dad. Oh, man, Kevin, I'm so excited about today's show.
Me too. We've got a great guest on.
It's one of our buddies.
It's one of our pals. It's really fun doing this with all guests. It's been really fun. Guys, write in. What do you guys want to see on the podcast? Who's a guest that you would like to see? You can go realistic. You can go unrealistic. But yeah, write in. DM us. Let us know who you want on. This week we have on our friend Nicole Burch. She is an incredible stand-up. She has specials on Apple TV, YouTube, Amazon. She has her specials, Mama Drama and Never Been Kissed.
We were even guests on her podcast called The Funny Thing Is. It was such a wonderful chat. You know what? Ellie Weekly, this is all you need. Ellie Weekly coined her as the Taylor Swift of comedy. Now, I don't really know what that means, but that's a hell of a comparison.
She's a billionaire?
She's in one of her eras, is I think what it means. Her being a mom and hilarious stand-up and wonderful guest on our podcast era. So enjoy the show.
Nicole,
yes.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Great.
We're good.
Thriving and surviving.
Oh, good. Both.
You're one of those parent moments. We've had one. Evan and I had one with you, which is just we hung out with you. We were on your podcast. We were here in LA, and we were like, she's great. We should hang out with her. And then we just saw you're in Kansas City now.
Yeah. I adore you guys. I adore your page. I love it interviewing you. I had so much fun with you guys.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
We had such a fun time on your podcast, and it's true. It's so funny how that happened to somebody else, and I don't remember who it was, but one of our friends that we knew for a long time, and you're like, hey, we're going to do a live show. Come on by to the live show. And they're like, oh, I moved away from LA 3 years ago. And you're like, okay.
I saw you last week. No, you didn't.
Yeah. No, we moved back. I mean, I was in LA for 16 years in August, but I dropped the boxes off, and then we flew out to New York for the East Coast part of my tour. So it still feels like we've only lived here a month or two. And then the last 2 weeks we've been in for the holidays, we spent a week in LA and a week in Dallas. So I just got back today, a few hours ago, which is crazy.
Well,
oh my gosh,
thank you for setting aside the time for us.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, absolutely. I was like, please give me something fun to do. I'm so tired of traveling.
I appreciate you saying wanting something to do, because that sounds like, your first couple months in your house at the holidays. It's not even your house at the holidays.
No, I'll be honest. I let my daughter have a Christmas tree in her room, and I was like, wait, we're going to be gone. After December 19th, we don't come back until the 7th. So I was like, what are we doing? So I didn't put one up in the living room. And we still have some decorations, but also the weather, it's blown everything off our front porch.
Oh, it's bad?
It was just one day of really bad wind. And my sister's like, oh, you might want to check on if you have anything on the front porch. And I was like, oh, and I went out there. Our chairs were in the parking lot. I was like, what is happening? I don't remember this. But, it doesn't get stolen like it would in LA. So it's just which one do you want to do? You know what I mean?
Either way, it's ending up in a parking lot.
Either way.
I got to say, before we get before we get too deep into this, you're a comedian. You're a mother. How many? You have one child, right? You have a daughter.
When is this going to air? I'm curious.
Are we getting an announcement?
What a follow-up.
Actually.
It can air either in 2 or 3 weeks.
Great.
So,
well, then, I'm 3 months pregnant right now. So by the time you guys air it.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I thought it was menopause.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Like Diane Keaton in Father of the Bride Part 2. I was like, hey, let's start that hormone replacement therapy. Give it to me. I want the GLP-1. Let's get skinny too. And she's like, I'd love to give you that, but your hormones are working just fine. In fact, you tested positive. And I was like, for what?
COVID, please.
A person.
COVID, please.
Please say it's COVID.
Yeah. So we just found out.
Goodness.
Yeah. But I haven't announced it yet, but I'll announce it in the next 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So this will be your second.
Second, I have a 6-year-old little girl. And this one, we don't know. We'll know in a week. But the sonographer was like, if I could predict, it's a girl. And we all collectively went, oh. Which we're fine with, whatever. Yeah, I mean, you guys know once you have like
she laid her cards on the table and rubbed the crystal ball and was
like all of those videos of gender reveal disappointments are so sad to me. But I'm like, yeah, you can be sad and then move on. Like it's not that big of it. I always thought Everly was a boy, and I'm so glad she was a girl. Did you guys have any like disappointment? Gender?
Well, we had my first who was my son, who just turned 11 yesterday actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, but we wanted to be surprised. We didn't want to know. Which then we come to find out more and more now. It's like we felt like almost outliers with a bunch of our friends that had kids. They were like, "How could you do that?" And we were like, "I don't know." It was like the way we thought of it was like there's there's not that many pure surprises in life anymore, and we just thought, why the hell not? Like
that's so true.
But I say that because he was my son, right? And then when we had a second, my wife said, "I think I want to know this time." Because if I had my choice, I would like to have a daughter.
Right.
And if and when we have another son, I don't want to have an ounce of disappointment coursing. Like I'd rather already have had that feeling.
Right.
And then I'm just excited to be boy number. But anyway, it was a girl, but I really respected the fact that she thought about it that way. I'm like, anyway,
No, that's a great way to think about it.
Continues to surprise me. Is like, wow, you're brain works on like a bunch of levels.
Yeah, right? That's actually deep. That's a really deep way to think about it.
I like that Evan says there's no real surprises in life, while Nicole just told us she thought she had menopause and she's pregnant. There's not really any surprises in life.
I know.
Really?
When you were like, so how many kids do you have? And I was like, well, when is this airing? And you guys were like, she's not answering questions very well. This is terrible.
I could tell by the way she was sitting.
This is going to make us look great. She doesn't even know how many kids. This is making women look terrible. Oh my God. Now, did you tell, as Evan said, you're a stand-up. Your stuff is fantastic. I've been watching a lot of it lately.
Thank you.
Is your story about your first, is that from your special Mama Drama?
Yes, that's all true. Yeah.
It's all true.
It's all true.
Give us for those who don't know and haven't seen it, give us the quick rundown of how that all happened.
So I was friends with my friend Craig for like 6 or 7 years. We were the only single people in our friend group. We'd both been going through a breakup, and we were like,
"Come on, do it.
Let's just see if we have any chemistry." And apparently you do not need chemistry to conceive a child, because we had none. We did not have a drop in the bucket of I can look at him and go, he's a very good looking guy. He can look at me and be like, she's an attractive woman. We do not have an ounce of chemistry. And
I don't want to get gross, but you just said you don't have to have chemistry to have a kid. That's literally what
it is. You
said drop in the bucket. It's just the phrasing that you're using.
That's correct. I didn't mean the biology aspect of it. I meant the sparks flying. And you're like, it literally is. And so we hooked up one night. We're like, let's never talk about it again. That was embarrassing. And then about 4 weeks later, I was like, oh, I think we're going to have to tell a few people. I mean, that is obviously, it was a messier situation at the time than what it is 6 years later. But so I got pregnant from a one-night stand with a friend, and now we're co-parenting a 6-year-old. It's wild.
That is,
that's wild.
Yeah,
wild.
And by the way, if you asked me, like I'd never been pregnant before. Like, if you asked me how worried I was from that encounter, zero, wasn't. Sometimes you have like a oopsie or a mistake or something. You're like, oh, I'm a little worried. None, and neither did he. So it was really insane.
That was a wild. I mean, everybody check it out. That special, because Mama Drama. Because when I was listening to it, I was driving home from work, and I was like, oh my God,
oh my God.
I'm like laughing and like, no, that didn't. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
It's great.
Continuously putting yourself in your position, like throughout how you talk about it and all your like realization throughout it is so funny to do, because you're like, oh my God. Going from the way you explain like the realization of like, we're going to have to tell a lot of people, and then like you're telling your parents, and then how their reaction and all these people.
My Catholic father. Oh my God. Like,
born and raised over here.
He's still, I mean, to this day, but one of the jokes is he has 3 kids, and they've all had kids out of wedlock. And I'm like, at a certain point, maybe it's you,
Yeah.
And this one will be like with her husband this time, the right way, God's way. So
you got to say, no, this is Craig again.
Yeah. It's Craig. Yes.
Come on.
We want them to be biologically the same.
Yeah.
I listened to you, Dad. You told me to stick with what works. It works.
Good genes, this one. The first pregnancy was so easy, and this pregnancy I'm just like so sick and nauseous. And my husband's a redhead, so I told him it was my body rejecting the ginger.
It's the cinnamon challenge. That's what you're going through right now.
I'm so stealing that. Oh my God, the cinnamon challenge.
Take it, Tears. How long were you doing stand-up before you were pregnant?
So only because I just did the math today. So only because I've been doing it 10 years total. So 3.5 years, not very long. 3.5 years. I mean, I've been doing like Groundlings, sketch comedy, and improv before that, but stand-up wasn't very long at all.
Going to Groundlings, so you're living in LA. I think I got to do Groundlings because you're supposed to do Groundlings or like one of the schools. Yeah. So I'll do Groundlings, and you find success there. You go through like just Sunday Company, but how much of that? I mean, but that's that's character sketch. So of course we know where your nurse character comes from.
This character.
Nurse
Rachel will not die. Yeah.
So then where do you find that, like, I think I just want to go up and talk about maybe my life or my because the reason I love stand up so much is like watching you're like getting to like see the world through their eyes, right? Like how they perceive the world, things they notice about the world. And I think that's always so fun because the more specific you are as to how you think about things, that's like you really get led into that world. So how did you transition, or what sparked the idea of going towards stand-up?
So I've always been a writer, and I was actually writing during probably Advanced and Sunday Company. I was writing what I thought was going to be a book called The 7 Guys You Date Before You Get Married. And it was like just a comedian's guide to romance, just a funny thing, kind of like in the voice of like Chelsea Handler's books.
Yeah.
And writing that, and then I was done with Sunday Company. They were like, "Oh, we hear your comedy voice. We just don't like it anymore." And I was like, "Cool." And then, so I leave Sunday Company in good graces, in good graces. And it made me upset enough, as most people do when you're done with the program. You get upset, and the good thing about that is it lights a fire under me. And so I wrote the stage play version of it, of 7 Guys, in 2 weeks. And then I went back to the Groundlings, and I was like, "Hey, can I put it up as a Monday night show?" And they're like, "Yeah, when are you going to finish writing it?" I was like, "I already did." And they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay." I was like,
I wouldn't be standing here if I wasn't wondering what the date was.
Like, it's already cast. I'm ready to put it up. I thought it was going to run for now. That, if you've ever been to a Groundling show, it kind of ran like a level 3 show where it was me doing a lot of monologues and then actors acting out. So I'd be like, "Oh, that one time in high school when I dated that one boy," and then it would cut to a sketch of me dating that one boy. So it was still very Groundlings because the sketch was very Groundlings, but I was doing monologues. So after I did like 15, it ended up running for 15 months, which was insane. And then and we took it to a few, like El Portal and a few other theaters. And then when that was done, one of the cast mates was like, "Hey, I'm doing stand-up at the Federal." Do you guys remember the Federal? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he was doing stand-up up there, and I'm like, "Wow, there's like 200 people there. It's like 160 people there. Like, this is great." And I talked to the guy, the booker, TK, who I'm now good friends with, but I talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, could I go up?" And he's like, "Hey, just so you know, it's a bringer show." I was like, "No problem." So I brought 60 people. Like, it was nuts. And he was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just all my castmates." And I'm basically doing the same material I did in monologue form in 7 Guys, and I'm just doing it on stage. And so that was the transition. And after that night, the gift of a bringer show, there's not a lot, but the gift of it was, he goes, "You can headline next week and I'll give you 30 minutes. And I was like, so my next show was a 30-minute show. And I knew I had to start writing new material and all that.
Yeah.
As soon as he finished the sentence.
As soon as he finished, I was like, I gotta go. Friday?
Yeah.
So I have a different,
That's
so
amazing.
I didn't have to do a lot of open mics since it was but I also did 8 years of Groundlings before that. Yeah. So it's just a little different.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to like, and I love that like you have this brilliant thing, and there's different ways you can share that thing, right? I mean, like it could just as easily be a book.
Yeah.
But it's just like different mediums that you can approach the subject and apply it as.
It's been everything. I'm still wanting to write the book, even though like I'm about to have 2 kids and I'm married. Like but I'm also like, oh, I have the original draft.
This is the time to promise yourself that you're gonna write the book. It's when you have
I have 2 kids, and I'm just like, it's still like I've got the original drafts, and it's been a screenplay, and it's been a pilot, and it's been optioned by Sony. It's been so many things never made. And it's like, should I write the book? And then, of course, I get pregnant. I'm like, yeah, now's a good time. Yeah, in between breastfeeding, it's great. It's gonna be awesome.
One hand free, just be like writing.
You can write in that spare time when you're getting as much sleep
as I can.
Now, does your daughter have the funny gene?
Yeah.
Is she got one-liners for you?
She's just
okay. So what kind of comedian is she? Sarcastic?
I think she's going to be like me and a storyteller, but I think she's actually, I'm not great with one-liners or short jokes, and not like short people jokes, like just trimmed up.
There's one.
A little. Yeah, it's mostly like she has these facial expressions, and she makes all of us laugh, and she wants stage time. So you're like, I'm about to open a school out here. There's one at the Ice House in Pasadena called Cool Beans Comedy, and they teach kids stand-up. And I'm about to open their next one here in Kansas City. And so I'm going to do one without her first and then add her in.
So you're going to help run it?
Yeah, I'm going to be coaching it and stuff like that. But she's already said that she wants to do it, and she wants her own stage time.
That's fantastic. I would read the book that you write, because you are an incredible storyteller. Even in Mama Drama and Then Never Been Kissed. I mean, the stories of some of the guys that you've dated.
A lot. There's a deep well.
The only problem with hearing those stories is you just go, where's VH1? I need to know where they are now. I need to follow those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about Aerosmith. Where's Calvin?
I did one story one time where I showed, like, when it was really like the 7 guys was taking off, and I showed photos of the actual guys, and they were like, oh, unlike people that had gone to the show were like, that's so crazy. And I was like, oh, I should do a thing where like, where are they now? Because I know where most of them are now. And I just ran into my high school sweetheart at our reunion, and we hadn't seen each other in 22 years.
Yeah.
And it was like so good for my like 18-year-old soul and his 18-year-old soul. Yeah, it was really sweet.
Aww.
It was so cute. And so he's doing good, 3 kids, normal. Nobody's really, the cheater guy. Yeah, he's off the rails. He hasn't changed at all. But everybody else is pretty, like, grew up, matured, doing well. Yeah.
You told the story in your special. We don't need to go through it all, but you told the story in the special. The guy with the mini fridge and the
oh dear God,
the mattress with no.
He was like in finance. I was like, what is happening?
It's one thing to live like that. God knows, in my 20s, it was embarrassing. But it's like, can we go back to your place? Nope, it's condemned. It's on fire. It's flooded with fire.
He was not ashamed of it at all. And then when he had that cabinet. And we argued about what it was called, because I was like, oh, it's a cabinet. And he called it something, not an armoire, but it was, and I was like, that's not what that is. And then he called it a hutch. And I was like, well, it's not a hutch, because, and whatever, we were arguing about that. And then I go, what are those? And I go, are those, I go, action figures. And he goes, excuse me, those are called miniatures. And I was like, I have to leave. This is not a place for me,
Overcompensating for something else that might be pretty miniature. It's one thing to have a miniature fridge next to your bed, like you said, another one to have it 6 feet from a refrigerator.
Wild. I'm like, that's so many in like 200 square feet.
You just want to be with that group of friends when he tells them. So then I'm like, they're miniatures. And she's like, I got to get out of here.
Can you believe it? What a...
Yeah. Okay, so, sorry, just one more time. Maybe it's the way you're saying it. Because what it sounds like is,
I
didn't even get to offer a Dunkaroos. Just left. So, what was the transition as somebody doing stand up for a few years, several years into parenting. Like, how did you navigate that? I mean, single mom, but you were co-parenting, but how was that?
I mean, I think I'm still, even like today, like I had a gig in Dallas, not stand up, but I had like a commercial. It was it involved stand up. It was very unusual, but we wrapped early, and my first thing was asking production, can you fly me home earlier so I can be there by bedtime? And they're like, yeah. So like your whole priority shifts. And I think I thought I had to give up completely as a single mom, because who's watching the baby? Like there's no, even we were co-parenting, but he only had her like 10% of the time. So there's no way I could be on the road. So I thought I had to give that up. Then he started watching her more. Then my mom started stepping in, and I was like, oh, I think that you can find a way to keep doing this. And then I met my now husband, and he's been amazing and is my biggest support system. And he's like, no, let's go. And like the thing about us living in Kansas City now, which I didn't foresee, this is not why we moved, I didn't foresee this happening, is that I'm more popular in like the Midwest, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Des Moines, St. Louis, and all of those are drivable. And some of them we can spend the night, some of them we don't have to. And so we make it a family thing, and it's been great. And she loves it. She travels well. She's only like, I think last semester she missed 2 days of school, and it's kindergarten. So it's like, they're like, no, take her. Like they're very encouraging of like kids experiencing the world. So
cool.
Yeah. So it's been like really awesome doing that.
Was it a little scary to move away from LA? Is there like a sense of like, maybe I'm projecting. Like it'd be scary to move away from LA because you think like there's just so much opportunity here. If I left, it'd be so scary. And then also like for your daughter, is she like, now I don't get to see my friends anymore? Did it affect her in that way, or like leaving?
No,
you know,
I also think we moved when she was she 5? Yeah, she was 5. So she had like 2 friends, and she still talks about them, and sometimes we'll FaceTime them. But her closest friend moved to Paris. The other one moved out of state too. And so it's not that. Obviously, her dad still lives in LA. But I flew her back 6 times this semester. And it was still cheaper than living in LA, which is crazy. And I think if you told me, this is going to kind of answer both, but if you told me you could never go back to LA, it would have been a lot harder to make the jump back to Kansas City.
Yeah.
But I get to go back every 6 to 8 weeks. So it's like, I'm shooting the podcast, and I've got, I booked a gig there December 8th. And so there's certain things and then I have to take her back. So I'm constantly seeing my close friends. And then her dad comes out twice. He came out a lot this time, but he's going to start coming out like twice a semester, and then have her for a good chunk of the summer. And it actually works well with his schedule, works well with my schedule, works well with her schedule and her like transition part of it.
Yeah.
So with that, I will also say during the pandemic, we were here 5.5 months writing it out, because we thought it was going to be 2 weeks, and it ended up being 5.5 months. And then like a few months later, we came back for 6 weeks, and I had a job that allowed me to keep coming back. So she's very familiar and settled with Kansas City, with the cousins, with the family. And that was also a big reason why we moved, is because she has 14 cousins under the age of 10. And and we have no family in LA. So that was like my biggest, and she goes to school with her cousin Dakota, which is my sister's oldest. And she'll go to school with Henry, which is her youngest. And then Henry will go to school with my boy, girl, whatever, Parasite. And, and so like it, and she's really close with my mom. Her favorite place in the world is grandma's house. She's on 5 acres. She likes to sleep in grandma's. She's got one of those like 1970. It's got to be like a California king. It's just an enormous bed that she's had since like 1974. And so it's like Everly's favorite place. It's so wild. She's like, look at all this space. And then she still like kicks my mom off the bed.
The size of your bedroom in LA.
Yes. And there's so much of it. It's not, I never want people to think I'm talking LA, because I do love it. There's parts of me that really miss it. Two of my best friends still live there. But it was also like, it was just really hard for a really long time. And for me transitioning out here, there was obviously that huge fear that everything's going to stop. And I was asking the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, I was asking, like, give me a sign. And that first 2 weeks, I booked 3 gigs, Comics Unleashed. I was in talks with The Tonight Show. I was like, I was like, oh, okay, so I can do this. And then I got this gig in Dallas. That was the last couple of days. And I'm like, they hired me via email. Like, none of it made sense. I thought it was a prank. And I had to ask other comedians, like, are you getting this gig? And they're like, yeah, no, it's legit. And I was like, what is so it's just different. It's just different. Yeah. And then I'll still get stuff in LA occasionally.
That's great. I mean, you've built such a wonderful following. And of course, the internet makes the world feel that much smaller.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's amazing. So I'm sure she gets, again, now she gets to see your relationship with your sister and your mom. And so she knows there's comfort there. So,
oh, yeah. Sure, and I mean, we also spent, like, I said, when she moved at 5 years old, I did the math, and I'm like, she'd already lived here 2 years out of the 5 years. If you added up all the trips, because we'd come 5 times a year, the holidays, and then that stint for COVID. And it's like, it wasn't that big of a transition for her. And she never had a freak out moment either. I was very prepared for that, like, total meltdown. And I didn't have to work. So I was my whole goal the first 2 months was like, do a little bit of stand up, but for the most part, be at home and help her transition. And her dad Craig was great about, like, helping that transition as well.
That's amazing. How has she, I mean, I'm sure she hasn't seen too much of your stuff. How much has she seen?
Oh my gosh, you guys. I did a show in Lawrence, Kansas last week.
Here we go. Now
we let her watch the iPad with the headset on. So one time that and on planes, that's the only time she gets to do it. Yeah. And I'm thinking she doesn't hear anything. And we get back, and I've done my set and I've done Nurse Rachel. And there is an x-ray where in a man's rectum is 9 hard-boiled eggs. Okay. And
can fit the whole dozen. Okay.
And one of my jokes is, you know what it was 9. I was like, you know what one of my favorite shows watching when I was growing up was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is enough. Like, if he just would have stopped at 8. So the whole card ride home, she was going, 8 is enough. 8 is enough. Too many eggs. 8 isn't. And I was like, oh my God. I go, what do you think that was? And she goes, oh, he just swallowed that many eggs. And I was like, correct. That is exactly what he did.
Yeah, it's like, boy, he was so hungry.
Yeah. And then she heard me. I think she heard me because she goes, at the top of it, I talk about Everly and that I went to parent-teacher conference. And at the parent-teacher conference, the teacher goes, she's one of the smartest. I was like, yay. One of the funniest. I was like, apple tree. And then, and then I go, and she goes, but she's one of the most strong-willed kids. She's either going to be the CEO of a Forbes 500 company, or she's going to run her own drug cartel. And
there you go.
And I said that, and Everly was also like, Everly's going to run a drug cartel. And I was like, oh, no, don't say that. She's like, what is that?
Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Do it the right way.
Yeah. After that, we're like changing our logistics of where we keep her.
Yeah, we've definitely had to, like, there's certain things my kids will watch. They're like, what are you making? Can I see that? I'm like, sure. And then sometimes I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You're just going to. I don't need to risk you taking it the wrong way.
Yeah, that's true. Because most of your stuff, it's clean, but there's times where they could take it personally if you're, I see.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That story felt pretty adjacent to doing some silly and dumb things as parents.
Yeah.
Don't you say, Kevin? I think it's probably time to move on to some dumb dad moments, some dumb parenting things that we do. And these are the moments that it happens all the time. We do something stupid as a parent. Mm-hmm. We've done a bunch of them, which is why we named ourselves the Dumb Dads. But we like to allow our guests to bring, like, an all-timer. What's the funniest thing or the dumbest thing you've ever done as a parent that made you feel so stupid?
Okay.
If you want to start us off, by all means.
Oh, no, you guys want to go first?
You go ahead.
So there's one I share in Mama Drama where I couldn't locate my daughter. And then she was strapped to my chest in a baby Bjorn the whole time, but that's like, whatever. One of the riskier ones was we were in parking lot of a mall, and we didn't have any cars on either side of us, but she was potty training. And I was taking, I don't know why we had the potty seat in the car. Like, I think I was taking it to my mom's or something. I don't know what it was, but it was in the car along with a bunch of packages. So I was rearranging everything. I didn't realize I'd left the passenger door unlocked and that she was out of the car seat. So as I'm like rearranging everything, she gets out of the car. I'd already taken the potty seat out. She starts taking a full number 2 in the potty. And I'm like, and then people are walking by. Also could have gotten hit by a car, you know what I mean? Because like she just, and so that was, and I didn't even realize, and I start packing everything up and I get in the car and like I closed the door from the inside and I'm like, where's my, thank God I looked. And I looked, she was taking a number 2 on the side of the car. I have a photo of it. I will send it to you guys. I have a photo of it. Her in a parking lot, just taking a number 2.
I wish, not for her sake, but I wish you'd driven away. Just like, I don't know, like a couple car spaces. It'd have been great.
The visual would have been great to like turn out of this space and pull a Yui and then turn over and see her from a wide angle. Yeah. I mean, like,
or like the other people trying to park there. It was just, I mean, there was a family walking by and I was like, she's fine. It's fine.
She's just waving people by.
Yeah, we're just good.
Come on.
I'm almost done.
Come on.
Almost done.
We all do it. Relax. I will say I remember when my daughter, we did stuff similar to that. I don't know. We just didn't want
pooping in parking lots.
My oldest is
it's a family event.
No, only I do that. But so I had a daughter first, and when she was potty training, my son wasn't born yet. It's just funny because I just remember there were times where she had to pee, and I was like, "All right, well, we don't have a potty," and we would do this thing where she would just pants down, take my hands, and just sit in the air, and I would just
let it go,
holding her hands while she's just going, and I just kind of looked to the side, go, "Nice, you're not getting out of your pants."
I love it.
We did that one day at like Griffith Park, and like she just, I was very much like, if she had no shame, I had no shame. But it was just like, you gotta go. Number 1, let's
totally
go.
Get it.
Like,
because if it was a boy, it wouldn't be a thing. It's just like, yeah.
But also, it's just like the fear of anyone yelling at you is gone.
Yeah, you don't care anymore.
Somebody's like, "Hey, come on!" I'd go, "You tell her she can't go."
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, if anybody was going to say anything about the toilet seat, I was going to be like, at least it's not in my car. You know, she actually at least sat in the toilet seat, so
it's very considerate.
Yeah. Well, then I had to take it in and clean it. It was a nightmare. It was so terrible. It was a long day.
Those tend to
we
be.
Had the car toilet for a long time, and Evan gave me a hard time about it a lot. And I'll say 2 things about it. 1, kids never went number 2 in it, never once. And 2, Evan had one secretly for months.
Evan,
here's the thing.
Podcast? No. I'm still talking.
We're not doing
that.
He had
a podcast.
No.
And he has a social media following, and he was hiding it. And it wasn't until we were like both leaving a soccer game together that I see his daughter sitting in the back, and I'm like, "Excuse me?" He's just going.
Here's the
thing.
And
Evan's like, "I didn't approve of it." I go, "Doesn't mean it didn't exist."
It's not that I didn't approve of it. I didn't even know it had happened. It had been in the back of the car for like 2 months. And my wife's like, "Yeah, I bought it because the LaFerriers have one and it's smart to have one." And I was like,
"It's very smart to have one."
Like, you're not going to believe what I've been saying about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I made it very known that I was like,
keep up appearances here that we're involved as. You don't know there's a toilet in the back of your car for 2 months. Good Lord. How do you miss that?
It's a huge porcelain toilet.
It's huge. It had flush and everything. It had a bidet.
My dumb dad moment this week is brought to you by scheduling, and something I'm normally pretty dialed in about. Or never. My son, like I said, my son's birthday was yesterday, and he, for like 6 months, was like, for my birthday, I want to go to Universal Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go with a couple of my friends. I don't want a birthday party. I don't need all that stuff. I just want to I want to go spend the day at Universal Studios. And we were like, respect. What a fun idea. He turned 11. So it was like, what a fun idea. Like, I just want to go hang out with my buds, And so Kevin's kids came, a couple of his close friends from school came, And we just like spent the day at Universal. Now, here's the thing. Speaking of scheduling, he's been wanting to do this for so long. We booked the tickets a long time ago. We're like talking to all the other parents, like, hey, our plan was to just take the kids. And other parents were like, we can come. That's fine. It doesn't need to be 6-on-2.
Yeah.
So Kevin and his wife, Annie, came, and another one of the moms came. And it was great. It was a wonderful day. Here's where I made a stupid mistake. As you know, Nicole, when you have any sort of representation and management, whatever, they book you auditions or things to go out and meet people. I never considered the fact that it's like my son's birthday at Universal and we're all going to go there. I just knew this was the plan. And what do I get the night before? 2 auditions in the middle of the day when we're supposed to be at Universal Studios with my son and all the parents watching all the kids. And so I have to come up to my wife the night before and I'm like, hey, so tomorrow
I have to disappear. Yeah.
I have to disappear for like 2.5 hours. But don't worry, I'll be right back.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's rough.
And she was chill about it. And my son didn't really care. He was like fine when I explained it to him, like it's like, hey, man, it's kind of like work, but I also can take the day off work if I think about it ahead of time, which I did not. But it was more like I just felt guilty, like not being there to like help watch the kids, be there for the whole day for my son. And ultimately, again, like I said, no hurt feelings. He was totally fine with it. My wife was supportive of it. It was just one of those things. But I felt so internally stupid.
Yeah, but it's also like,
not thinking.
If it was a busy day at Universal, that's like waiting in line for 3 rides, though. That's it. That's all.
That's true. Yeah, you just won't be there to have me play my round of heads up or whatever that they got to do to get through the line. But it just didn't feel great.
Yeah, I know. I hate that guilt. I hate
very
feeling
well
that guilt.
Thought out.
Yeah.
He came back reeking of beer.
It was I had a Bud Light ad, and
then a cocaine. Never mind. What?
Yeah. I mean powdered sugar for his IHOP.
Cut to the flashback of him going, guys, I can watch the kids, and we go, I think we'll go.
Yeah. I'm just ready to not watch the kids as I am to take a nap in the car.
Well, my dumb dad moment is it's brought to you by just getting too excited showing the kids things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just get too. It's been
overexcitement is it's a slippery slope.
This isn't the dumb dad moment, but it's been kind of recurring where I will keep them up too late, just like talking to them.
That's just dumb parenting. It's not a moment.
Fun and nice. But it's just they're up for way too late. Sometimes I'm reading to them, and then we're just like keep reading. I'm like, okay. It's like my wife will come in and go, "It's 9:45." And I was like, "We're in the middle of a chapter. Close the door." It is. It's a bad idea. It's affected everything and everyone. Not great. But it came to a head. It was just funny yesterday because it was one of those moments where it's like you're the victim of your own creation, of your own making. Because after Universal, we saw the Waterworld stunt show, and it was fun because my 6-year-old was nervous watching it. It was very cute watching him because he was just a little shaky about the whole thing, and he was nervous. And I was just like talking to him about it. As soon as it was over, I was like, "These are all stunt people, blah blah blah," and I was telling him all about it. And it's just funny how kids are. Where I was like, every single one of them. Do you notice every single person that like died? When they fell in the water, they landed on their feet, and it was funny. Every kid was like, "No, some of them landed on their head," and I go, "No, they landed in their feet. That's how they did it. It's like what they're doing." And they were like, so I was talking to my son about it, so he just got really interested in it. So we talked about it a lot, and then it's bedtime. We're at the park all day. They brush their teeth. They're all ready for bed. I go into the bedroom. My son's like, "So they're stunt people. It's like a dance," because that's how I was explaining it to him. It's like a dance. Is what they're doing. It's rehearsed. They practice over and over again. It's no different than a dance. You step here, I step here, you move here, I move here. And then he was just like, but they actually punch each other. And I was like, no, that's all fake. It's all like angles and how you're seeing it. And he was just like, how? Oh, no. And I was like, all right, I'll show you. And I took out my phone and I was just like, I didn't punch him.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, when I say 3, I want you to turn your head that way. And I was like, 1, 2, 3. And I swing while he turns his head. And then I like open my like editing app on my phone. I do some of our videos on, add a punch sound and show it to him. And it looks like I punched him in the face. And he's like, that's so cool. My daughter comes in. She goes, what are we looking at? And I was like, okay. And now I got to make one for her. And then it just like cuts to like 20 minutes later. And I'm like, you guys got to go to bed.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Knock it off. And it's like, I planted the entire seat. I could have just been like, I'll show you in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Exactly. One answer. I'll show you tomorrow. Show
you in the morning. It'll be so fun. We'll set up a whole thing. We'll make a whole stunt pit. No, I was just like, no, let me show you now.
Yeah. Not only did you have them stay too late, but now there's footage of your on your phone of you hitting your children.
Convincingly. It's a good angle.
You feel the thump.
It's a good edit.
I mean,
it's a tight edit.
Everybody's gonna watch it. Go, that kid can take a hit.
That kid, boy, yeah.
He didn't even step back. It was just like a head turn.
That's wild. Yeah, and it's not like a man versus woman thing, because between my husband and I'm the one who's more likely, and maybe it's a creative thing. I'm the one who's more likely to keep her up, where he's going, hey, we've got to keep her on a schedule. And I'm like, ugh, you're no fun.
Yeah.
Fun police.
This guy.
Woo! That is.
Well, as creatives are also so flighty that it's just like, what was that? Did you say something that interests me? Let's talk about it then for as long as possible.
The thing that we all nerd out about, the fact that somebody made that. My son started watching. He wanted to watch Stranger Things because all his friends watch Stranger Things, which I'm like, your friends watch Stranger Things like in 5th grade?
Really?
Okay. Seems kind of scary. My parents were pretty protective, but it wasn't like. We just like didn't watch rated R movies for them. It was like that was kind of. It wasn't like overly anything, but it was like we didn't watch rated R movies. But I never remember watching anything that like as scary as Stranger Things is now until at least like later in life. I certainly didn't like. Some kids get excited about that kind of stuff. I didn't like go towards it for sure. Like anything that was known as scary, I wasn't like, yeah, let's get scared.
Yeah.
But I never really saw anything like that, especially at like 10 years old. But I also thought, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's his truth either. So he said he wanted to watch it, and I was like, well, but he's like, can you watch it with me? Would that be okay? And I was like, yeah, we can watch it together. And I just told him, hey, look, also like if it just seems too scary, we'll just turn it off and we don't have to watch it. It's not like you have to like get through it. There's only been a couple of moments where he's like, can I hold your hand? Because it's getting really, really intense. But like we watched the whole first season together, and so far he's been like. And the creative side of it is I get him excited about the fact that like people made that show.
Yeah.
Like none of that's real. It's all pretend. And somebody made that show, and he gets like really excited about like, well, how did they do this? And how did they do this? And I'm like, well, half of it, I don't know, but the other half of it is like, it's angles and some computer stuff. And, he's just like 11 is like the coolest person in the world. I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's great.
When he tells me he thinks one show is cool or one movie is cool, that's like, yeah, cool for a kid. I'm telling him, wait till you see some like real shows, real movies that are gonna blow your mind, But
I can't wait till
the creative side of it is so fun to
talk about. A boring movie for him.
I know.
Like you think that's good? Check out this one's called Taxi Driver. It's like, what is happening?
I got Taxi Driver.
Why are we following this guy?
My dad took me to see Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 2.5.
That's probably almost. Do you remember that?
I do. I mean, I feel like because I was born in 82 and I think it came out in 84, which I thought I was like 4. So I'm not really sure how that works. But it was enough. Like my parents had gotten a divorce and like my mom was going to take him to court for it. And I was like, no, Freddy Krueger's awesome. Like I thought it was great. I was like, his arms get really long in that one scene. He gets that girl on the ceiling. Like I had no idea what was going on.
You're so young, you didn't even know it was scary.
Yeah. Then I showed it to my little brother, who's like 9 years younger than me. He only saw the Tina scene that's it, the beginning scene, the beginning scary scene. Mm-hmm. And he wet the bed for another 5 years. So we're just very different people, very different people. Yeah. And Everly's more like him. Like she can't see. I would never show her any of that stuff because it's called parenting and you shouldn't let your kids see that stuff.
Yeah, there you go. If the other parent's going to take him to court, then you can kind of figure out.
I thought you were taking her to see American Tail, and he was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Sold out.
Yeah, so I went to
What are we going to do? Turn around? We came to see a movie.
We're already
here. I got the popcorn first. I'm leaving. Not seeing a movie.
I didn't drive there to validate a ticket.
It's so great. It's so great.
Well, Nicole, we have just a couple questions. We're not going to do them all, but we have some questions that we like to ask our guests.
If you'll indulge us here.
Indulge us because it's perfect segue from you telling us about Nightmare on Elm Street at 2 years old.
Yeah.
Dad took you. Because it flows perfectly into this first question, which is, what is something from childhood, from you growing up, that you remember that you couldn't wait to either bring into parenting or make sure you didn't do in parenting? Like, some people like s'mores, or, we always made this kind of dessert at Thanksgiving, things like that. Or
ours were traditions. Me and my mom and my grandma always did crafts. So like cross stitching, knitting, like that kind of stuff. And so Everly's really good at craft. She's better at like painting and sculpting. I got her like this little clay set, and she's doing like claymation. I mean, she's very gifted artistically. Craig's really gifted artistically, and she can draw really well for her age. But so I introduced her to crafts earlier, and I always said, no matter what, I will pay whatever. If it's a craft, you can have it. I'm never going to say no for it. So that's something that we've really done. And then singing at bedtime, like my mom used to sing, Isn't She Lovely? And You Are My Sunshine. And for Everly, I sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow and To Make You Feel My Love. And she like now knows all the words and stuff. It's like a really sweet thing to pass on. And the thing that's a no Nightmare on Elm Street. Like we're going to save that until she's 8, like a normal person.
Nope.
Just kidding. Yeah.
Make her think she's seeing Frozen 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
the hot man comes.
After she's like, wow, those previews were pretty wild.
Just you wait, buddy.
Just you wait.
Yeah, just you wait. It takes a turn in quality,
so
actually.
that's it.
Oh, that's amazing. So we love our kids. Blah, blah, blah. They're our world. They're our whole life. It's great. It's whatever. But what is something that should go away from parenting forever?
I would be so surprised if you haven't gotten this answer before. But the amount of apps for school, for parenting and schools, it's...
Haven't yet?
You haven't?
Early in the season.
It's so frustrating because Everly was in a charter school in LA, and then she's in a public school out here. And both of them, like, there were fewer at the one in LA, but half of them didn't work, or you didn't know which one did what. And this one, there's so many. There's one to put money on for your lunch. If your kid gets lunch, you have to put money there. Then there's the PTO. Then there's the dads group, which is like the male PTO, where they do fist bump Friday, which is very cute and sweet, where the dads just greet the kids at school and fist bump. It seems like the minimal that you could do, and that's what they're doing. And but that's a whole thing.
The least they can do, and that's what they're doing.
And that's what they're doing.
And they have their own. And for some reason, I'm on it because I hadn't brought Matt to the meeting or her dad to the meeting yet. So then there's that. Then there's, I mean, it's just like Seesaw, Parent Square. What's
iReady.
Class Dojo, yes, that.
Yes, Class Dojo, and then a WhatsApp for all the parents to get together and give information that we don't have, but really what they do is sit around and about something that goes like 35 messages in 10 minutes. And you're like, okay, this is not what this is for. And my wife is like, did you download iReady this year? I'm like, no, because I can't take it anymore. I can't take it's supposed to be used for one thing, and then people use it for something completely different. And this teacher likes iReady, and you're like exactly right. This Class Dojo is this other thing, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and with the tech and AI the way it is now, because I was like, I think the charter school in LA only had 3. This one has like 6 or 7, and I'm like, okay, so it should be less, but they should work. And I'm like, no, there should just be one where it's just like, click, you want to put cash here? You want to do that? You want to join this? You want to do that? Like, it should be so streamlined. And I remember the first week of school, the notifications on my phone, because I wanted them on, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Yeah. It was like ding, 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 ding. And I was like, I'm going to be at a rave. What is happening? This is terrible.
It's insane.
I'm going to homeschooler. Like that's It was awful.
You're going to homeschool her, but every one of those is mom, mom,
mom, mom, mom,
mom, mom.
Yeah.
It just replaces it. I was like, this is nuts. That's the thing that irritates me, because I'm like, it's so much. Our parents never got this many emails. Oh, and then we get a newsletter from her teacher and a separate newsletter from the principal every week, which is like lovely, but it's also like, come on, what are we doing? How much could have happened?
It takes away the little bit of the fear from the parent-teacher conference. You know what I mean? Because you're like, I kind of know what I'm walking into for the most part.
Yeah, because we've been talking so much.
Our parents, they were walking in going, here we go.
No idea.
Are we
Does he go to this school? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what my son says about you, but
yeah. Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's about all I know. Yeah, and not to mention, you forgot the emails and the phone calls from the school, the school district, the superintendent, and then the nightly. Good afternoon, parents. This is your nightly reminder of something for tomorrow, and then it's
the absence. There was also there's literally an absence website. Now, on our last school, you just email them and be like, "This is what's happening." There's no problem. This one, you email them, and then I'd get a notification. Her dad would get a notification. Matt would get a notification. Everly's missed. Everly's out of school. And I'm like, yeah, I sent you an email. That actually doesn't work. And I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? Yeah. Why does it exist? It wasn't returned to sender. It's an active email.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's not the department that makes the phone calls. And the phone call department is like a triggered thing. And it's your child was absent. And you're like, I know. I told you yesterday.
Picture day, different link. Here's how you pay. And I'm like, oh my God, just streamline it, please. For educators are doing this. And I'm like, you're educators. Yeah. We can work together. Find AI, Chat GPT this. There's a solution.
GPT, how do I make it so it's just a one thing?
One thing.
With a drop-down menu. That's all we're asking for. A drop-down menu.
A drop-down menu. That's it. That's my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, do away with it. That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. And I agree. Let's just get rid of the apps. Let's just trust that it's all working out.
You know why that's a good one? Who's standing on the other side of that line? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you who. I'll tell you who.
So what are we doing?
I'll tell you who.
Silicon Valley. That's who.
Silicon Valley.
Son of a guns.
Yeah, and the first person to come up with one platform is gonna, billionaire.
What isn't?
We don't have time for that. And we certainly don't have. We wasted too much of your time, so we should wrap this up here.
Nicole, why don't you tell everybody what you got going on? You got any shows coming up?
Let's see. I have February 19th in Plano, Dallas, Texas, and then February 27th in Denver are my next two shows. You can follow me at NicoleComedy.com. That's where all my shows are listed. Or follow me on socials at Nicole Burch Comedy on all socials, right? Yeah. And then my podcast, The Funny Thing Is. That's it.
The Funny Thing Is.
That's it.
My podcast. We've been on it. Nicole, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. I adore you guys.
Thanks to Verdú on SoundCloud for the music of this podcast, and to my lovely wife, Annie, for editing this podcast. Nicole, thank you again so much, everybody. Check out Nicole Burch. She's so funny. We have some links in the show notes.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on, and thanks have a great
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year.
Have a good one. You too. Bye.
Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?